The capitalist countries who are not bound by these Articles 38, 39, their taxation rates on income range from 64, lowest is 50 for a capitalist country like Canada. Another major instrument of redistribution is inheritance tax. A person earns his wealth, but at the time of his demise, the state takes a share of that wealth for redistribution. Inheritance tax is there in a number of countries, except some 13 countries. And India is one of those miserable 13 countries. A major source you have, and you give it up. We had at some time small estate tax, 2.5%. Now the inheritance tax in Japan is 55%, South Korea 55%, France is 44%, UK 40%, US 40%, India nil. Damn Article 38, 39, we will have no inheritance tax. Let the rich get richer and bequeath that riches to their children. You have a number of other indicators. I will not trouble you because the chief guest will do that job. So it's a kind of situation where an obligation cast upon the state is doing worse than capitalist countries who are not votaries of the so-called affirmative action, but turned into practitioners because of practical considerations. If you don't have affirmative action, what happens? There will be unrest. So there are two routes to this problem. Create an unrest, and there's a revolutionary route, there's a violent route. The second is an organized, conscious effort by the government to see the inequalities do not go to a level where there will be such a violence. Now that's where the affirmative action has been there, and today there is hardly any country which does not have this affirmative action. The name may be different, the scope may be different, the quantum of relief to the deserving poor may be different. And interestingly, the best countries are, in this regard, the capitalist countries which carry the tag proudly. But we carry the tag of socialist state, and we are at 36%, no matter what the Constitution says. Now, this is the issue, and hope that in future, this country, particularly the government of India, because this taxation route is mostly concentrated in the government of India level. At state level, hardly much of a direct and indirect tax proposition where it can do it. But since the state governments get a share of it, the state governments do use it for this affirmative action. And with these concerns, with this very low level of compliance with the Constitution requirement and humanistic attitude, let's hope that with efforts like Pepsi and its counterparts, our position would go up from 36 onwards into the top 10. We are number 3 in the number of billionaires in the world. We should be number 3 in terms of inclusive growth. Thank you.